Thanks to the supporters of channel member Robert Bannerman. Boys and girls, quick public service announcement before we get into today's video. If you're watching this video when it first comes out, I am live on Twitch right now. Feel free to finish watching the video before you come over and join me. I'm hopefully going to be live on there for a while, but I'm doing an all-day stream, a subathon. It could be a long one. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're just going to hang out there all day, see what happens. Come on over, twitch.tv/LOLLUJO. You can either come right now and watch this video later, or you can watch this video then come over. But come and hang out with me for a bit today. We'll have a lovely old time. Hello and welcome to part 27 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the final two games of the regular season, and we've actually got a pretty good chance of ending up in the playoffs after all the shenanigans we've had this year. This is what's happened since you were last with me. I mentioned having the Hernandi up front for us would be an advantage. Jorge Alberto Hernandez signed for us back in January, and as you can see, he has completely turned our season around. We had this really, really rough spell where we just forgot how to score goals. But since Hernandez 2 has arrived, he exploded on his debut with 2 goals. But since then, he scored twice there, he scored there, he scored there, he scored there. Whoa, day off. Scored there, twice there, scored there. Scored twice again there. Whoa, where was he that day? Never mind, because he scored again there. Didn't there, but got two there, 2 there, 3 there, 1 there, 1 there, 2 there. Jorge Alberto Hernandez, 18 goals from 18 starts since signing for us in January, 6 assists as well, 8 man of the matches. He's man of the match in nearly half of the games he plays and averaging a 7.74. And as you can see, he's pretty much single-handedly turned our season on its head. We're actually currently in a run of 9 consecutive victories, which has dragged us back up into the promotion mix. 2 games left to go. We're 3 points ahead of New Amsterdam 2, who are down in 4th place. As long as we win one of these games in today's episodes, we will find ourselves in the playoffs in the next episode. You can see as well, pre-season favourites Rhode Island have also been charging up the league with us as well. It's been a bit of a recovery from us both. Rhode Island left it just a smidgen too late to follow our example, but fingers crossed, we can secure ourselves a playoff spot. Baltimore have already got promotion sorted, but it's been a good run, boys and girls, and hopefully it continues today. Hopefully I'm not going to get the curse of closing the game and ruining the form that Hernandez is in, but we're going with the Hernandi up front together for us today, and they are a joy to behold. The other it's not just Jorge who's made all this difference as well. I did actually take some notes on on tactical tweaks from the comments section. 3 comments in particular have stood out for their regularity in recent days, and I've applied all 3 of them, and they've made a difference as well. So firstly, we now play with a playmaker in midfield. There were several of you suggesting that. We've also turned off play for set pieces. Several of you suggested that. And finally, we also turned off the overlap on the right-hand side just to really release Huyan to go and do whatever he damn well pleases. Lots of you were suggesting that as well. And as you can see, Huyan's recent form far in excess of his form season so far. But the real story is Hernandez, who's averaged 8.74 in his last 5 games. He's not just good, he's good and getting better all the time. On top of that, Jeff Brooks started to score off camera as well. He's got 13 goals this season now. We're in with a chance. Let's just not mess it up, eh? After all that, the way the last 10 episodes of this series have gone, it wouldn't surprise me at all after an intro like that if we went and lost both matches today and finished 4th. And I'd just be so very upset because for the first time in a little while, I actually believe again. I have no idea how this team could potentially cope with life in the division above, but that feels like a problem for future Kev if we get there. If we're having that problem in a few days' time, that means these couple of days have gone well. And I'm all about that instant gratification. I'd rather be happy now and balls to the future. I mean, that's why I'm fat, rather than worrying about the future. Huyan, I think, has won a penalty here. Is the ref go? Do we have a little telly for the ref to go to? I don't think we do. but we have a penalty. That's the important thing. It's one of the Hernandi to take, and it's 1-0. I think that's Jackson. It is Jackson Hernandez, his 24th goal of the season. I think that's the goal that makes him our all-time record goal scorer as well. The inbox has been constantly talking about him being about to break the record for ages, but because of Jorge being the main focal point of the attack these days, Jackson hasn't really scored much in the way of goals at all in this second half of the season. In fact, when we looked through the previous fixtures, you'll notice there was a couple of games where Stephen Stone was weighing in with goals. They were actually games where Stone was starting ahead of Jackson Hernandez, who, although theoretically is better as a target man, he's not getting anywhere near his 50-goal tally of last year, playing as a target man rather than the poacher. And he is struggling a little bit in the new system, but he is a nice foil for Jorge Hernandez. So between the two of them, look, just having the Hernandi up front is a wonderful thing. Nice playing it back to Sullivan, and now Garza. Briones back to that's not Garza, that was Nice. No, this is Nice. Who was that? That was Sullivan, probably. There's one of the Hernandi again. I think that's Jorge this time. And his header comes back off the crossbar. The Texas have actually kept the ball in there, which seems like a bit of a strange thing to do, considering there was nowhere else near it. But either way, the attack continues. Garza with the cross. It's headed clear, and as per usual, we have no midfield to stop them just coming back at us here. It's the one downside of playing this 4-2-4. We're deadly going forward. But central midfield, as soon as one of them gets dragged out of position for a set piece, or just because they were maybe joining in with an attack or dropping back to cover at the back, we end up with nothing through the centre of the pitch. And that's where we probably need Jackson Hernandez to drop a little bit deeper, like he's done there. And that's a brilliant interception from Hernandez. And Jorge is free here. Jorge Alberto Hernandez. I did his full name. He was supposed to score. He ruined a lovely piece of commentary there. But we do have a corner. It's going to be Jorge to take. Corner floats over, looking for Brook. Can't find him. And it's Hernandez again, looking for another cross. This time aiming for Briones. Can't find him. But here's Garza, who's hopefully just going to pump it back into the penalty area again. He plays it back to Garlic. And the move ends. I would have just slung that back into the area, because the defenders are all forward. Jeff Brooks in there. Get the ball forward, for goodness sake. We know that man's a finisher. It looks like New Amsterdam are losing in their game, because as it stands right now, what was a 3-point gap before kickoff has extended out to a 6-point gap. So if things end as they are now, we've secured our playoff spot with a game to spare, which, if you'd have offered me that an episode, one episode ago, I'd have said it was pretty unlikely. But this form, this player, I still don't know how every now and again players like him turn up on the scout reports, because 9 times out of 10, the players on the scout reports, Briones makes it 2-0, lovely from him. But 9 times out of 10, the players who show up on the scout reports are like half a star current ability, 3-star potential, and they're just dross. And every now and again, it's happened sort of once a season. Hu Yan was an example who just came up on the scout report of, he's 5-star current ability. Yeah, he'll sign for you. I don't understand why. And Jorge Hernandez is another one. Scouted as a 4.5-star current ability player with potential to improve. Unattached. I don't understand. I don't understand why no one else has signed him. I'm not going to complain about it, but he's just come straight into the team and absolutely turned the season on its head. And I feel like it might be the game just, Kev, you're really struggling here. Have a cheat player for a little while. You just need a little something to cheer you up. You look like you're struggling. Here, look what we got you, something nice, Kev, to cheer you up. Have a new toy. Oh, I love my new toy. And here is the new toy, Hernandez, and he scores a 19th goal of the season. Always good to see an assist from the goalkeeper when you're down in Tier 8 as well. It still frustrates me that the game doesn't track assists for goalkeepers, because we do get a lot of them. This is a fairly common goal for us. Just lump it forward and one of the strikers will get onto it and deal with it appropriately. It's now Texas Rush 1, Bourne 3, half an hour of the game left to go. But we are looking very, very good for this playoff spot right now. Ball over the top, and Williams is in behind. Plays it back quite cleverly, looking for Jackson Hernandez, but it couldn't quite get through to him. But Nice plays it forward to Williams again. It ends up back with Nice. Plays the ball forward. That was one of the Hernandi under it. I didn't get a chance to see which one. I think that was Jackson. But it remains 3-1. Fitness levels, we seem to be doing fine. I'd be interested to see what Amsterdam are doing. I can't actually find them. I wonder if they've played earlier today. I should probably do some substitutions. We're into the 75th minute and I'm trying to check in on latest scores. Although, to be fair, the players don't seem that tired. Goncalves can come on. Torres can come. We're going to do a triple substitution. This is a fairly standard one to bring those three on in this circumstance. Amsterdam must be losing or have already lost. Because, in fact, there you go. We've got a goal there. Amsterdam have equalised in their game, but I think this is still mathematically us guaranteed the playoffs if things end as they are, even if they pick up the draw. We're into the 91st minute. We've got a two-goal advantage. I don't think we're messing it up. And to be honest, they've not really messed it up either. Even if they won with our better goal difference, our victory here would have been enough, if not completely guaranteed mathematically. It would have been as good as. Huyan and Hernandez knocking the ball back and forth between each other nicely here. Huyan has been mugged there. I think this is going to be a red card for Texas. It is a straight red. It's a karate kick. And it doesn't really matter anyway because we'd already had the win wrapped up. It's 3-1 to us. We are in the playoffs. That is, it's a very different route into the playoffs this season to last season. I always say the teams that do well in the playoffs are the teams that charge into them in great form at the last minute. It couldn't be more of a contrast with last year when we kind of limped into the playoffs and were really struggling. This year, we're off the back of 10 straight wins. We've got to be one of the favourites going into these playoffs, especially if we win this game on the last day of the season against Lehigh. They're another team down in the bottom half. That's the other thing that's been a big boost for us in this run at the end of this season. Almost all of the games on this run have been against teams in the bottom half of the league. We've had all of the easy games come through at the same time. It all came together in the end. Now we just need to finish the job. So final game of the season, no need for any changes because we are a good side. What has happened here? Why have I done that? This is what I hit selection advice to see what it would do and thought, it's not changed anything. Awesome. Kev's a genius. Obviously, Garza and Goncalves look very alike to me. So apparently I have made a change accidentally by not, I guess it's fine. They're pretty much the same player. I've been starting Garza there though. Okay. Let's see how Goncalves plays from the start, playing in central midfield. If we lose today, we're blaming it entirely on me not paying attention after. This is what happens. We've secured the playoffs and I'm not paying attention properly now. This is not good. Right, we are, I was going to say we're on the attack. We're not really. It's with their goalkeeper, but no one's actually pressing him. Brooke is so dominant in the air. It's ridiculous. Hernandez with the flick on to the other Hernandez. And what a finish from Jorge Alberto Hernandez. That was a thing of beauty. Bearing in mind, this is tier 8. This is like your perfect tier 8 goal. Dominant header clear from your defender, lump forward from another one, flick on, into a flick on that becomes a perfect through ball, and then a cheeky little dink over the goalkeeper. 7 minutes on the clock. It's Bourne 1, Lehigh 0, and that, as it stands, puts us into second place, or it did for a moment. Core Valley have immediately gone ahead over QPR US, who I love seeing. I don't think I've mentioned them all year, but I keep noticing them. QPR US, that is Queen's Park Rangers US, for those of you wondering. Of course it was going to be. I don't know why there's no gap between the R and the US. I guess there wouldn't be because it's still all initials. It's Queen's Park Rangers United States. Why would there be a gap? It would make no sense. It makes sense to me. It should be QPR space US. But anyway, I digress. 1-0 up. Core Valley are now 2-0 up, so it looks like we're going to have to settle for third place. It doesn't really matter from what I can remember from last year's playoffs. It makes no real difference whether you finish second or third. It's a random draw all the way through. And as we saw last year, Reading finished in third and we finished in second. And it was Reading who ultimately won the playoffs, knocking us out in the semi-final along the way and making their way up into the division above. We don't have a left winger on the bench either. This is a really sloppy team selection today. We'll right that wrong. Garza can come in there. And we're going to bring God Knows on as well. We don't play God Knows anywhere near as often as we should, mainly because every time he plays, he's rubbish. But we'll give him 20 minutes here. We might need him in the playoffs. Little bit of experience of the English league in there. QPR have got a goal back against Core Valley. If they could grab an equaliser, we could end up in second place. And that then gives us even more of a momentum rush going into those playoffs if we end up managing to leapfrog over Core Value. At one point, we're a good 8 or 9 points ahead of us. I think even in yesterday's episode, the gap from us to them was a big, big gap. That was a strange attempt at a pass from God knows that somehow has made it through to where it was supposed to end up. And I think he's charged forward and joined in the attack. Williams plays it through to Hernandez, and there's a 21st goal of the season for Jorge Hernandez. He is now scoring, on average, more than a goal a game. We should never have doubted this team earlier in the year. We just needed the one missing piece to the puzzle. We just didn't know who he was or when he'd arrive or where we'd find him. But he did turn up, and goodness me, am I glad we took the plunge on him. And 2-0 to us. Now we've just got to keep... That's 11 wins in a row. If we can keep this form going, pretty soon, we'll be securing a promotion. We're going to have the playoffs in Monday's episode. But for now, if you didn't go there at the start of the video and it's still Saturday, the original Saturday, it's not like the first Saturday ever, the original. Oh, for a second there, I panicked. It's a different Charlotte Academy. Oh, that was sheer panic for a moment there. How are they in the playoffs? What has happened? No, this is the Charlotte Soccer Academy. That's who we're playing in the playoffs. So they finished second in the Southern Premier League and didn't get as many points as we did. So I'd like to think we should be able to sneak past them. But as I was saying, if you haven't already done so and it's still Saturday, come over and join me on Twitch now. I'll be streaming for the rest of the day. We'll have a lovely old time. We can chat about my thoughts on how we might get on in the playoffs. And we'll be back here with the playoffs on Monday. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.